In a new politically charged video, rapper Snoop Dogg pulls out a gun and shoots a clown version of President Trump. Watch this.
This the final call. This the final call.
Okay, so did this go too far, and would a musician ever do that to, let's say, former President Barack Obama?
I'm going to ask a Fox News contributor. His name is Kevin Jackson. Kevin, am I missing something, or is this over the top?
Well, it's over the top to some degree, but not a surprise at all. I think the real surprising thing is that where all the anger and the angst of Snoop lies. I mean, he should, if he was going to be killing a president, and I don't recommend that, by the way, he would have been shooting President Obama. Obama's policies have absolutely wrecked. Well, look, the crime in the black community exploded under Obama. Trump has nothing to do with this whatsoever. And so I think most people probably see it for what it is, which is a publicity stunt to sell records. Because if you look at Snoop, why didn't he call out some blacks that shot other blacks? He's not focusing on them in the video. He's not focusing on any of the things where the crime lies. He's not focusing on Rawlings Blake, who is over the police officers who killed people in Baltimore. He's not focusing on any of the crime that was in Cleveland or the crime in Detroit. So, it's very disingenuous.
You know what? We all have our lives and we all have things going on in our life. But then when you hear, my point is, like, should we even care? Does this really, are people really going to be talking about this? But when you hear Madonna stepping up in front of a group of women and saying, I have dreams of bombing, blowing up the White House. How did she say it? And then you have Snoop Dogg doing this. I mean, come on, our kids watch this stuff. And you got to draw the line at some point. This has got to be over the top, and they need to come out and apologize, right?
Well, it is over the top in the sense that you should have enough respect. I mean, look, a lot of people didn't like Barack Obama, but I don't think there were very many threats against his life. And in doing something like this, what Snoop is saying to young blacks is it's okay to have this type of attitude towards a person who's really doing a lot for blacks. Donald Trump just met with members of the historically black colleges and university, called these leaders in, allocated $25 billion to HBCUs. Barack Obama allocated $4 billion. So he's addressing a very critical area for blacks in education. He's had meetings with John Lewis, who's asked him to look at various things like prescription drugs. Again, things that impact all Americans, but certainly impact blacks in many cases disproportionately. And yet, here's Snoop accusing Donald Trump of being some sort of a reckless person. Donald Trump's not doing drive-bys in black communities. He's not dealing drugs in black communities. He didn't incarcerate people through his policies, such as Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. But here's Snoop Dogg mad at him.
Sure. Ultimately, Kevin, don't you think, the cultural elites, the media elites, they, for the most part, don't like Donald Trump? They're saying he's a different kind of president. All the conventions of the past regarding our chief executive, out the window. This guy's different. We can do anything we want.
Boy, no truer words could be spoken. You're exactly right, Steve. It's crazy how Donald Trump is fair game. I wrote a piece called Why America Needs a White Republican President, and this is exactly why. You can say what you want and do what you want. Donald Trump's not going to, he's not going to be upset about this. He's going to look at this as, you know what, this is just the way the world has now become based on leftism. But if you can imagine, and you said it earlier, what would happen if we were talking about this with Barack Obama? It would be a very different conversation.
Absolutely. And of course, in the backdrop, what's weighing on all our minds is how Barbara Streisand continues to eat pancakes every time she sees Donald Trump on TV.
Comfort food.
So I try to put that out of my mind, but it's hard to get it out.
Kevin, she's
or how sad it makes
blaming the president.
Yeah, or how sad it makes the Judd girl, when Donald Trump, and how fearful Van Jones was for his children when Donald Trump became president. Look, there's so many issues here where it's piled on Trump, and the fact is the guy's doing a masterful job while the press is throwing the kitchen sink at him. And the good news for America is it's not going to do the left any good once his policies start taking effect.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
The way we were.
My pleasure.
You bet.